you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music. Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man Andy Gillard here. It's 5 films left of Nick Cage's filmography. I'm kind of like, Stu, I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit sad that the end is nigh. I know we've got plans like post-Cage, but we're now going to have to wait like 6 months of time to watch a Cage film, a new Cage film. Like, it just feels wrong at this point.
It feels like when you... Oh, hello, everyone. It feels like, when you get to like the last but one day of holiday and you know it's coming to an end, and then you know that you've got to wait until next year, and it's going to be a great 5 days to 10 days again, and then it's all going to be over. It's a bit like that.
It is, isn't it? I know we'll have Spider-Man Noir will be coming out. I think it's going to be early 2026, so that'll probably be our next journey into something cagey. And like, he has got quite a few, because I know he's got that Madden film as well in the works. So there's a few bits and bobs. The Carpenter's Son, which I've no idea what that entails. But like, we will be back with Cage, but it's going to be a lot more sporadic than it has been.
Yeah, he's never going to stop, is he? So it's
never. And he'll sign a contract that will be, once I've died, I need to be in at least 2 films a year. Like, he's going to go down that route, I think.
Oh, and there was the stuff about he was going to be in True Detective season 5. It was going to be about him,
which feels like a kind of perfect fit.
Yeah, especially there.
I like the sounds of that, and I really hope it comes to fruition, because I really fell off the ball because the second season was started off so slowly that I just dropped off and never really bothered getting back on until the last season with Jodie Foster, which didn't hit the high. Like, it started off quite strong, I thought, but then died a death somewhere in the middle and never got back on track. Yeah. So I'm hoping that this one might be a bit stronger.
Season 3 is still the second best one, easily.
Was that the Mahershala Ali one?
Yeah, that was really good.
And I knew it was
different enough. It was different enough from the others.
It always felt like they had this brilliant idea for the first one, so they threw a load of money at them to make another one, and whereas they'd spent years building the first season of it, the second one was like 12 months later and it felt rushed in comparison, the bits that I saw. So I'm hoping that, give him a bit of time, it should be a winner.
I mean, it took me 2 watches of the second one because I'd watched 3 or 4 episodes of it and I just had enough. I thought, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah, it's a bad line.
Then when the third one was confirmed, I thought, well, I'm not missing half of this and then just jumping ahead. So I'm going to have to watch it all, even though it's not really connected. And it probably wasn't as bad as everyone makes it. It was just nowhere near as good. I mean, you're going from 10 out of 10 for the first one to a 5 maybe for the second.
Such a fall off. Was it Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
I mean, that's solid. It's inexcusable for it to not be at least very good. But yeah, oh well. Yeah. So we will be back with Cage at some point. We have got a Cage film to discuss later in A Score to Settle from 2019. That film was 2019.
You could tell by his hairline that it was around about that era. That's the only way.
But at the same time, I will get to it, but I thought that was like 2007. At least. Jesus. Yeah, A Score to Settle is what we'll be talking about. But before that, we'll be looking at the fall season. So the film's due out in the cinema between September and December. But before that, we're actually looking at a film that's going to be available on streaming on the 8th of September. It's a movie called Borderline, set in the 1990s Los Angeles. Borderline follows pop star Sophia Minor, Samara Weaving, whose lavish but isolated life is shattered when obsessive fan Paul Dewison, Ray Nicholson, invades her mansion. Believing they're destined to marry, Paul manipulates Sophia into playing along with his delusion. The situation escalates as Paul brings accomplices, taking hostages, including Sophia's bodyguard and his daughter. The film spirals into chaos, blending home invasion horror with psychological delusion and dark comedy. As soon as I had the email saying that we had these screens available for Borderline, I saw Samara Weaving and I saw Ray Nicholson. And I thought, you know what, that's enough for me to know that I'm going to want to watch this film. I really liked Ray Nicholson in his very limited role in Smile 2. He's got that Jack Nicholson smile. Like you can see his father in him, and it kind of adds pretty well to someone who's playing someone a little bit creepy. And knowing that he was this obsessive fan, I thought, this sounds like it could be a good vehicle for the guy.
All I could think of with him and the French girl who's actually Portuguese, I thought this is the most perfect Joker and Harley Quinn in live action we've ever had.
He would be a very good Joker, I think.
It never even crossed my mind. Even though you'd said who he was, it never even crossed my mind until the end that it was actually him. And I thought,
like he'd be a better fit than his dad.
Yeah.
I know his dad's got the chops, but yeah.
Because of how convincing, all the stuff with it when he was showing his legs in the bath. Very obviously no spoilers for this. Start of the film. Things like that. And just his manic way about him. He was very, very, he kind of was channeling his dad, I guess. And I think we didn't know what to expect. As it's a psychological thriller. How can you have that and a dark comedy?
It's a clash, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you can, and it's this. I actually really enjoyed it.
The first sort of probably 25 minutes, like I think it's got a decent opening. When we first meet him in the bodyguard, I liked that. Immediately sets the stall out. But then the next sort of 25-ish minutes, I thought were probably a little bit too slow, if I'm honest. But then, like, once you get past once you get past the first half an hour, the last there were from the home invasion onwards, where we meet Nicholson and his motley crew. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I liked Nicholson. I liked the fact that he was playing both this really pathetic loser, but all this psychotic, crazed fuck. Like he did both so believably well. I was really impressed with him. I think he has the most important role in this film, even though I know Samara Weaving is the focal point of the movie. If you don't buy into Ray Nicholson, you don't buy into this film. And I bought into him completely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And kind of why I was saying what I was saying about him being, he's just playing the Joker. He's a better Joker than the Joker from a few years ago. Even though I did like that film, obviously, because we talked about it over and over again. But yeah, he was insane. He was clearly insane. Yeah, the moments of patheticness, like when he's stroking his hand.
Yeah.
So you go from that to the next scene. You think, yeah, he's clearly quite tapped. and then he's dancing around. It's a bit like oh, why can't I think of the name of it? Like he could be the spiritual successor to that nonsense with Sophie Ellis-Bextor in last year.
Oh God, yeah. I was gonna say the one with the bathwater, Saltburn.
Yeah, Saltburn. It's the same kind of crazy.
Yeah, that borderline psychotic. Yeah. I really like Samara Weaver. I think we've seen her in quite a lot of things where she generally plays a badass. She's always the final girl in these horror movies, but she's a lot more aggressive and forthright. Whereas in this, she was the opposite. And I liked the fact that they played her against type here, that she was a lot more not relaxed, but she was a lot more withdrawn than we've seen her in other films. So I quite like that they flipped, like it was the trope of it being the other way around. I like the fact that they subverted the genre there with those two. I thought that was a really clever thing to do.
Yeah.
And it feels like quite prescient as well, in the way that we're very much in this celebrity-obsessed culture at the moment. I mean, talking about the real world, and we're going to date this podcast immediately, but we've had Taylor Swift and her shit football playing fiance getting engaged recently, and how sort of exploitative all that appears, that with the photo shoots and everything of this very private moment, but it's clearly not private because it's performative. They're doing it because they know the cameras are there. And within this film, we have this performative relationship between Weaving and her boyfriend in this. And it kind of hits the nail on the head of like wider tropes and trends that we see in the real world. And I thought that was quite eerie watching it in the week that we've had Kelsey and Swift's engagement announcement. It felt very close to home, I think, with how they did that.
Yeah. And the fact that he's gone from being a very good footballer for what he does, to, have you seen Happy Gilmore too? I mean, we could talk about this in a bit anyway.
I haven't seen it yet. It's on the list for next week's podcast, but I haven't seen it yet. But he's in that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a little cameo in that. He's actually really good. He's not playing himself. He's kind of mincing around, and he's sending himself up very well. Which you only have to watch the Kelsey documentary about the two of them, him and Jason, and listen to their podcast, and you know what kind of guy he actually is. So he's not like a wallflower with these kind of things, and he's being exploited into it, but he's very much on brand. He knows what he's doing, and so does she. And that was why it was almost like candy floss sickly, the whole thing.
Yeah, completely agree. Jimmy Warden directed Borderline. Jimmy Warden is the writer of Cocaine Bear. This is his first.
Well, there we are then.
Yeah,
Of course.
This is the first film that he's actually directed, as far as I'm aware, and he wrote it as well. The pacing isn't great in this film. I do think that's an issue. I think that was probably an issue in Cocaine Bear as well, if I'm honest. So I do think there is some work for him in order to, if he's going to have a career in this, I do think there's a few things that he probably needs to iron out in his style. With that saying, visually, I thought the camera work and all the technical side of things, really well done. It did feel kind of indie because it was clearly done, it's done digitally rather than on film. So it did have that sort of almost soap opera sheen to it, I think, in parts. But that is very much a budgeting issue than it is anything else. I think he worked very well within what it was. I think he just needs to add a bit of depth to his work because it was a little bit facile, I think, in parts. And I would say the same for Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it needs to be anything else, though, really. It knows what it is. I mean, Cocaine Bear especially. But this knows what it is. And I do get the pacing thing. Like we already said that the first half hour was a bit plodding. And it did kind of flip between different things. On a rewatch, that's probably not going to be a problem, but you don't need to do that really. But I thought, again, like with Cocaine Bear, the music was great.
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't listened to Loveful for ages. I love that song. But when he comes back and he's got it in his earphones, oh, fuck's sake.
I really like the Celine Dion sing-along as well. That
Yeah.
a proper pops for that. Oh, that's class. Yeah. Really good use of music, actually. That's a very good point. Yeah. Would you recommend it? I think I would.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, when I disappeared the other day to watch it, and she was like, "What are you watching?" I went, "I don't know. I haven't looked it up. I don't know what it's about. We've got this code. We've had Max Beyond, which was awful, but we've had some really good ones in the past. So I'm going in with an open mind. I know all I know is who's in it. That's it. I didn't even read it. I just looked at it, the code, put it in, and yeah, I really enjoy myself. But yeah, there's stuff like this. Like we had the body one, bodies. Similar kind of vibe to that.
Mm-hmm.
Not as gory, obviously, but just fun. It was just a fun. What was it? Hour and 40, something like that. It wasn't
Just
too long.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I think
too
about
long.
95. Yeah.
It was a great old time, and by the end of it, I had a massive smile on my face. I mean, the guy who's clearly Dennis Rodman with in all but name.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was great as well.
He was excellent. The only one that I didn't really think was very good was the guy who was the bodyguard. That's not even really...
KT or something like that.
Well, apparently he's quite well known. I think he's off Grey's Anatomy, but I just thought he was very one note, and I feel like he let the side down because everyone else, they were clearly having fun, and his daughter in it. Like I'm obviously not going to spoil the joke at the end, but his daughter, her delivery of that one particular punchline, if you do watch it, I thought was fantastic, and I kind of want to see her do something because I thought she was a very funny kid.
Good child actor again.
Mm. Turn the corner. Like kid acting now doesn't seem to be the drawback that it was even 5 years ago. To be honest, that they seem to be a little bit savvier now.
Yeah, she was good. I think everything about this was a good experience, and for that, I mean, obviously find it however you find it, but pay £4 for this, stream it properly. Great old time. I put this as I had as much fun with this as I did watching the more, for obviously very different reasons.
Yeah, completely agree. Even The Present. Do you remember that one with
Isla Fisher? Yeah.
And again, completely different film. You know what it reminds me of? I remember like back in the late 90s and you had like Jean-Claude Van Damme straight to VHS, like it was a double team with Dennis Rodman, ironically enough. It reminds me of those kind of films, ones that are never going to break through, and they're probably not going to get much of a cinematic release, if maybe a one-day screener or something. But you watch it, you really enjoy it, and it will probably come back into memory like Double Team just has in my mind after all these years. Like you'll just remember, oh, I enjoyed that film, and this is going to sit in that. If you want something a bit different, give this a watch. That's where I feel I'm at with it, and I like that. That's my kind of film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super. So as I said, that's going to be available to stream rent on the 8th of September in all of the normal places that you can rent your movies. Blockbuster and all of those places. I'm sure they're still around. Also in September, now Shu, you're probably going to have to talk me through this one a little bit. 5th of September, The Conjuring Last Rites is going to be hitting the cinema screen. Now, I've seen the first one because it's Patrick Wilson, who Owlman from Watchmen, isn't it, if I remember correctly? Now, that's all I've seen. I know that each film is loosely based on a real world event. I believe.
It's based on the two of them like notorious, depending on what you believe, real life paranormal people, and they go around doing.
Okay, so these are technically based on real events, or
they're real people.
Their story of the real events.
Yeah, they're still alive. They've like, helped with these films.
Interesting. Okay, that's
kind
of shocked me.
I've watched 4 of them. I think there's 8 altogether.
Because we've got two nuns and 2 or 3. Is it Annabelle, the doll?
Yeah. but the dolly's kind of around the whole thing.
Right.
But they are what they are. Like, if you like the first one, they do vary in quality quite a lot. That is a problem. But they are.
Because I've heard the Nun films are absolute dog shit.
I've only seen the first one, and it wasn't the best.
I've heard the second one's even worse, apparently. But
yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I've kind of stopped. But I'm obviously not going to get to this when it comes out on release, because I'm way behind and I'm not going to watch it out of order, even though it doesn't really matter, I guess. But like Amityville is mentioned because that was them as well.
Okay.
But obviously, we've got a very good remake of Amityville not that long ago. In probably Ryan Reynolds' best film, arguably.
Yeah.
So that is Amityville is mentioned, but obviously they don't need to do that again. But it's the same. It's the same couple. Who do all that stuff. Yeah. So there is a lot of things behind all of it. Depends how deep you want to go down the rabbit hole with it all. But I liked what I saw. It's the paranormal horror films, possession and ghosts and things like that. And if you don't like that stuff, then very much stay away, because it is very chill heavy.
Yeah.
It's very religious. It's very upside down crosses. You'll know if you like this kind of stuff or not. There's a reason why me and Ethan watched it, and he was like 12 at the time. And he ain't worried about possession, so he was fine with it. But
Okay.
I enjoyed what I've seen. Put it that way.
Fair. I enjoyed the first one, but I don't know why I haven't seen any of the others. But in fairness, there's a bit of time this week, and I think they're showing 1, 2, and they're showing 1, 2, and 3 at Cineworld on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably in time for this. Speaking of Amityville, Stu, did you know that December 5th, 2024 was the last Amityville film? That they are pumping that fucking franchise dry. Like, I'm scrolling on IMDb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we've got remakes, reboots, 9, 10, 11, just going on and on and on. There is an Amityville series due out at some point, saying TBA for the date. They've got stuff like Amityville Death House, Amityville Playhouse, Amityville Vanishing Point, Against the Night, Amityville Mount Misery Road. That series has been going on and on. Easily 25 films, TV series, at least, since 1979 up until now. There was just a boom of it in the 90s.
It needs burning to the ground, that place.
I kind of want to go and see it. But apparently, like, you can only see, like, the famous shot of the house is only from the water. So if you're on the street, you wouldn't particularly know that was that house.
Yeah, there's some stuff you ain't gonna mess with.
It's kind of a fascinating story. Like, I've heard a few true crime podcasts and stuff where they talk about it. If anything, I think the guy was just a scumbag and he blamed it on voices. But really, he was just a cunt. I think that was it. Away with it. And then people who've bought it after knew that it was this murder house. So they just managed to sell their story.
I mean, I've had stuff happen that's unexplainable. And I've been in things where I've got into the like psychic nights at the pub and stuff like that, where you think, oh, it's a lot of bollocks. And then there's stuff that can't be explained. And you think, okay, you try and work it out through logic and sense and guesswork. Nah, there's no way. Or there's stuff that, and Annabelle, funnily enough, is channeled. Again, another reason why she won't watch them. She's channeled. She said when she was going to see it, because she's like an empath, so feelings and stuff. And she's like, well, I'm getting these words. There's just words coming to her head. I was like, okay. And she went, Lil. And I hadn't told some of this stuff. I had not told her either. She would not have known. Said, I'm getting these words. I went, okay. So I thought, oh, is she messing with me as well? I went, go on. So I'm getting like towpath, or something about a playground, something about a door, a gate. I went, well, okay. Do you know what that means? And then she said a word, and I was like, there's no way. All the other stuff, okay, maybe, but this, not a chance. And then it was a friend of someone, a friend of your nan. Well, your nan was called Lil. I went, yeah. She had a friend called Lil Law, and her house backed onto the canal in Wensfield, up by the Dung Partridge side. And there was a gate, and there was a word to get through that gate if you ever got stuck the other side. There's no way she'd know that. Like, even Mark and my brother and sister wouldn't know. They were too young. They wouldn't have said that. And they were. When they were playing together. They was like, "Oh, you can go play on the canal. You'll find you're older." But there's no way. There's not a chance she'd know what that was.
So weird.
And like the stuff that said you at the Clifton, and things have gone on in the old projection room up there that's unexplainable. So I used to be completely closed off to it all and think, well, it is what it's explainable, but some things are just not. And there's no way I'm messing with things like Amityville House and things like that, where it's too evil. No, it can stay where it is.
So like I find all of it fascinating, but I'm very much a Scully in this whole thing. Like I'm a hot redhead. That's me. I feel there's got to be an explanation for it, even if we don't particularly know what it is. But it does fascinate me, the whole thing, both paranormal and stuff like aliens and all that. That's why I loved X-Files, though, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. That's why X-Files lasted so long as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I do think it does scratch that itch, doesn't it? That conspiracist in everybody. I think it's definitely. A complete handbrake turn here. Downton Abbey is being released on the 12th of September, the grand finale. So is this the end? Like, is the TV show's not still going, is it? Didn't it? Was it
No.
TV show and then they've just done films ever since?
They were still doing the TV show when the first film came out, I think.
Right.
Because I didn't get to it at the time. I was all like, I ain't watching that period drama. This can piss off. It's going to be like The Royal and all this kind of nonsense. Not Heartbeat, because that's great. And I don't know why. We just started watching it one day. It was the first thing I'd ever seen Dan Stevens in as well.
Dan Stevens.
He's not in it that long. No, not a spoiler for Downton Abbey. But he there's people in that series that it's really well done. It's really, really well done. And there's no nonsense about it. There's no wokery or any. It's just what it was. What it was at that time. Upstairs, downstairs, servants. And it's a time and place thing. And you do go through the World War and all that kind of stuff. And it gets to the car and these newfangled things like the telephone. And you are in its proper time and place kind of situation with it. And it's just comfort, I guess. It's just comforting series. And then the film was, well, both of them with their own takes on certain stories. And obviously, certain people have died. So you've got to kind of draw a line under this at some point anyway.
Yeah.
But there is a hunger for me. I mean, I might be the only straight person there because it's a very gay show.
Right. Okay.
Unbelievably. A lot of blue rinse is going to be going on. So I might leave it till the week after because that kind of pensioner smell is going to be pungent on that opening night. And then it knows its audience. Apparently, that's exactly what my sister went to watch it last time, the last film, and she said that's exactly what opening night was. It was just her because she went with mom, and she was the youngest person there by about 30 years.
Incredible.
So,
but yeah, looking on Google at like the screenings. There's 8 screenings on its opening day.
Yeah,
they're clearly expecting an audience for this, aren't they?
It's got its own Lego set. It's that big.
Okay, that seems random as fuck. That does.
It was one of the Lego ideas that just got submitted.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the fascia of the country house and the manor, and it's got all of them.
Understand.
It's always, I suppose, many things as Lord of the Rings sets are. But no,
Incredible.
it's a minefield now, because my whole point was, after the Home Alone house, I thought, well, I'm going to get one big one every Christmas to build over Christmas, and then it was going to be like Avengers Tower and the Daily Planet, and then Rivendell, and now you've got Downton House, Downton Abbey itself, and now you've got the new version of the Black Pearl. Oh no!
That
What
one a year
else?
quickly turns into 2 a year, and then
Yes, it does.
you're fucking drowning in it. It's ridiculous.
They're draining shelves to put the stuff on.
It's crazy, isn't it? Is that a day oneer?
It's a week one, definitely a week one. I think it just depends. If I'm going on my own, I'll go on the Friday.
Right.
No, I do.
Okay. Right.
But I'm guessing there's going to be more people want to go and see that one though, so more than likely the week after.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Also on the 12th of September is the Long Walk. I'm quite looking forward to this one. I do feel like Stephen King films are very hit and miss. Like sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. They don't tend to have a lot in between either. But this one looks quite interesting. I don't really know much about the actual story, so I don't know if this is close to what he wrote, but it is based on one of his short stories, where basically when kids get to a certain age, they have to walk until they drop in order to get so much money. And they have to keep walking for 3 miles per hour. As soon as they drop below 3 miles per hour, they get taken out. So I'm quite interested to see how this one's going to play out. Fingers crossed it's going to be decent. It is directed by Francis Lawrence, who did who's doing the Hunger Games film. So he did Catching Fire, both parts of Mockingjay, and then he's done the prequel last year and the next one that's coming out next year. So he's got a foot in dystopia, I feel. So he might be the right man for this job. He also did I Am Legend as well. So again, he knows this kind of almost post-apocalyptic world. I'm quite interested. I think the writer on this one is J.T. Molnar, who did Strange Darling, which we both really enjoyed a couple of years ago.
What was that?
That was the one which was shot out of order, with the serial killer chasing the person. Yeah, that one. Yeah, so the screenwriter of that is the screenwriter on this one. So that feels like quite a good one. Cooper Hoffman, who is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, who was in Licorice Pizza, he's going to be leading the cast on this. David Johnson, who was in Alien Romulus last year, and he also did Rye Lane from the year before. He's in it. Mark Hamill's in it. Judy Greer's in it. It's got a great cast. I like the creatives behind it. This is day one for me. This is, of the films you've mentioned so far, this is the one I'm most excited about.
Do we have to walk though? Do we get there?
Yeah. So basically, in the States, they were offering people the chance to see the film early, but they would have to walk on a treadmill for 3 miles per hour throughout the duration of the film. If it dropped below 3 miles per hour, they would have to then leave the cinema. It's kind of wild to think that just asking people to walk a few miles is going to turn people off, but there we are. But yeah, I would genuinely quite like to do that. I think that'd be a very interesting way to see a film. But yeah, they want it for me, that one, Stu.
I think I'd probably walk. I'll probably walk about, say, 3.5 miles an hour anyway. Because I walk everywhere. It's a good job, really. But yeah, definitely. It just not even if it was a bunch of nobodies. It's such an interesting premise, a bit like Under the Dome. It was a good series, that was. I watched that without knowing anyone in it. Obviously, you had Hank from Breaking Bad, but yeah, that one.
Super. Did you watch Castle Rock?
don't think so.
Okay. That might be one that we need to get Eddie on to talk about, I think. So Castle Rock is basically the Stephen King universe, I think. So there's 2 series of it. I think it's an anthology, so I don't think either series are connected. But they have lots of characters that exist within Stephen King's books. I think they hint at like Pennywise and the Shawshank Prison and all these different things. Um, I It's been on the watch list ever since it was out, and it was out a while ago, but I've just never got round to it. Rose Byrne's in it, and I really like her, so that was the main reason I wanted to give it a watch. I didn't know if you would, because I feel like it's probably the type of thing you would enjoy, from what I know of it.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds interesting. I mean, I watched that. What's that series called? It's going to come to me and I'm going to feel foolish again. No, it's completely gone. It was all set in the it was set in the swampland, in the bayou and that kind of thing.
What happened in it?
It was like eldritch like creatures, really.
Oh fuck! And it was a predominantly black cast, and it
Yeah.
was Lovecraftian, wasn't it? And it got
Lovecraft Country.
It was Lovecraft. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that was really good. That was,
Hmm.
and it just got no love whatsoever.
No,
But barely anyone watched it.
very strange because the reviews were like top tier TV, and it never found its audience, which seems bizarre.
Bill Skarsgård's in this Castle Rock.
It's got a strong cast.
Oh, yeah, this is going right on the list right now. 20 episodes, hour each.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Super. 26th of September, The Strangers Chapter 2. Did you ever bother getting around to watching Chapter 1?
No, because you were moaning about it, and I thought, well, I might as well just wait and then watch it the day before. There's part 2.
Well, you may as well wait because Chapter 3 is out next year.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I mean, at least I would be more inclined going in knowing that it isn't, that I know that there's going to be more after it. The first one annoyed me because I thought Chapter 1 meant it was a prequel to what we'd seen. Because I'm pretty sure they all die in the other films. Like, I kind of feel like they died, so but regardless, I hated the film, even on its own merits. I thought it was a really badly made film that didn't make any sense, that everything was really fucking hodgepodge, higgledy-piggledy bullshit. And it just ends horrifically. It hasn't made me want to go and see Chapter 2. Although I probably will, because I know what I'm like. If there's fuck all else out, I probably will. But I don't particularly want to. But I don't think there's anything else out that day. So watch this space, unfortunately. It's only a day one out if there's nothing else out. Otherwise, for me, I probably will be giving it a miss. Fingers crossed, anyway. Into October, 3rd of October, it's a big one. It is The Smashing Machine. This is Dwayne Johnson and the Safdies. This is make or break for Dwayne, I feel. We've said it many times, like, it's got the point in his career now. He needs to do something to, like, give him a legacy that isn't fluff, for want of a better word.
It's make or break if he wants to be taken seriously. I mean, it doesn't matter for Netflix films and nonsense, because he'll always have that. But this actually looks really good, though.
Yeah. Early reviews have been very positive as well, and been very positive about him.
Is it makeup, or is it on his body, or is it CG, or what?
It's some kind of prosthetics and stuff, I think, to like accentuate the physical features of him, because like, they've done a good job. He's almost unrecognizable.
Well, that's why I was confused when first time I watched it. It was only when he started talking, and I looked and I thought, hang on a minute. Because that was one of the trailers that I saw ages and ages ago, probably about 6 months ago, that I kept watching because I was intrigued by it, and I didn't even know it was him until later.
Yeah, it's weird because obviously he's putting that affectation on his voice, like he's giving an accent. And I'm trying to think, has he ever done a film where he's actually done an accent or even fucking tried to do anything that isn't just The Rock on screen?
I ain't seen it if he has.
No, I've seen a lot of his films, and I kind of feel like they're all the same, and he's always the same in it. So this one, this could be the one. I mean, I don't want to talk about fucking Dwayne at the Oscars, but if it goes well for him, apparently, like, it's an A24 film. We know that A24 have got this reputation of being a bit Oscar darlingy, I think, when it comes to the crunch. This could be special.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of Benny Safdie, like all of the Safdie brothers films, Good Times, Uncle Gems, etc. Like, he's someone I've got a lot of time for. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've got to say, like, I don't know anything about Mark Kerr, the guy he's playing. Like, I only really know bits and bobs about UFC, but I'm not a big enough fan to like really talk you through any of it. So I like the fact that I'm going into this pretty much blind at this point.
Yeah, that's the best way to be. I mean, like I went into. I mean, we ain't got to mention it next week because it was just one of them things. The certain documentary you mentioned the other day. I know what you were on about because it did go on after the reveal, and obviously everyone in America knew the end of it anyway. And what was it called? Unknown Number: The High School Catfish.
Yeah.
If I don't, do you see what the point in watching that is? If you know what the answer is, so for reasons not to say on here, I'd never heard of it before.
No, same.
And I watched it this afternoon. Well, I started watching the Alpha and Darby, and it was so awful. After 20 minutes, I turned it off and put that on. But no, I ain't doing this to myself. I've had enough watching shit football already this weekend. I ain't doing it again. And then you had Liverpool Arsenal was much better either, but it's not a football podcast. And so so I thought, well, okay, and a few people had started to mention it on Twitter as well. I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. I thought it was fine. It could have been 15 minutes shorter.
Could have been an hour shorter.
But with a lot of them, a couple of years ago, that would have been a 3-part special.
100%.
So I like how it was just 90 minutes in and out, done. But strangely well acted as well by the people involved.
Yeah, I was really confused because I thought this is the one bit where they think it's this girl and she rocks up posing on camera. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Because if it's you, why are you acting? And it was acting as well, wasn't it? It wasn't just being on screen. It was really weird. Very weird.
I've never seen a documentary like that before. Oh, they're using the people involved acting in it, the body cam footage, as well as kind of actors from the behind doing things that they wouldn't have done or agreed to do. Madness. But I thought it was strangely enjoyable, but again, a case of if you don't know what the story is, watch it before it's spoiled for you because it'll have no effect at all. And I think that's going to be the case with this film as well with the Mark Kerr thing. I've got no idea who Mark Kerr is either.
Mm-hmm.
So going in completely blind, I'm really looking forward to it.
Same. Stu, you're probably going to have to talk me through this next one as well. So on October 10th, we are getting Tron Ares. I've seen the original probably on ITV on a bank holiday back in the 90s. It's been a long time since I've seen the original. I never bothered with the sequel. I don't know why it didn't particularly appeal to me. Do we need a third in this series? Were people calling out for it? I don't remember the second one really doing, like, pulling up any trees. So I'm a bit confused. Why now?
Because everything that's old is new again. That's why now. I thought, I had the same. I loved the first one. It was one of them ones that we had someone had on video, and it might be my cousin Andy had it, and we watched it quite a lot. And obviously groundbreaking at the time.
Yeah.
And then I think the nonsense of the early CG Jeff Bridges in Legacy kind of it wasn't great.
Mm.
Even back then, but it had a budget. Looking at the second one, it had a budget of $170 million, and it made 400 million worldwide. So
like a small-ish profit, I suppose, for what it would have been, because you can bet that it was probably about 350 break even, I'd have thought, on something like that.
yeah, and there was an animated series with Uprising, which I never watched.
I've heard of that, to be honest.
Yeah, Tron Uprising with Elijah Wood, because of course he is. Disney
Okay.
Plus. 8.2, that is. And there's Tron the next day. What the hell is that one? Oh, it's a 10-minute short thing. But there was a game as well, apparently in the works. That kind of didn't work. But any excuse to look at Gillian Anderson in anything at all. But it looks interesting. Like having the light bikes in the real world. I'm okay. It's kind of playing into the AI is taking over, and yeah, it actually really is taking over here. So I'll get why they're doing it, other than making money. It's just been it's been 15 years since the last one.
Already? I didn't realise it'd been that long.
So I'm gonna have to watch that one again first before this, and obviously I'm gonna watch it anyway because Tron's one of them things. You're an 80s child. You like Tron and the Goonies. It's just the rules.
Of course. I went to see the Goonies the other night because they did a screening at Cineworld. It was class. I don't think I've seen it since the late 80s, in fairness. So I was like, it's on at the cinema. Let's just give it a go. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it.
That's another fucking there you go set as well. Christmas.
Yeah.
The boat.
That's it. Fuck, they just rape you of money, don't they? That's it. Tron Ares, Jared Leto leading is not a good indicator. But Evan Peters is in it. I like him. Jeff Bridges, Greta Lee, Cameron Monaghan. He's that one who was the shit Joker in Gotham, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Desjardins. She's in Yellow Jackets, Stu. Season 3 of Yellow Jackets. Yeah, nice little cast. As you say, Gillian Anderson, Jason Tremblay. Yeah, it looks solid enough. Directed by Joachim or Joaquin, however you want to pronounce it, Roning, who looks like he's a Disney boy through and through. He did Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tale. He doesn't have a good track record looking at some of this stuff.
It's Disney. It's perfect.
Well, it's just money making shite. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is. It's just to make money. We know that with them. But yeah, that's Tron Ares. Is that a day one for you, Stu?
Probably. It's probably me and Goldie again. It was 15 years ago. Yeah, I love Tron.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I kind of wish they got right. It's so perfect to have a game of a Tron game and not be shit. It's such a missed opportunity. It's never happened. So,
it does feel like it was light years ahead of its time. Like if it came out
like
now,
Michael said.
yeah, if it came out now as new, like the technology and everything is in place for it to be perfect.
Yeah,
but the fact that it's like 40 years old. And sort of looks 40 years old. It's up there with Goonies in one of those films that I haven't seen for such a long time that I probably need to give it another go.
Yeah, and the second one wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just
wasn't good either.
I don't know what people were expecting from it though, because it wasn't like when they brought Jumanji back and they thought, oh, this is going to be awful, and it was better than the first one.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that, but it was like, okay, this is solid enough. A bit like Ghostbusters Afterlife. Like, it was solid enough.
Did the job. It's what you wanted it to be. Yeah, that's fair. 17th of October, The Black Phone 2. Did you see the first Black Phone?
I only saw it about 3 months ago, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was one of them. Remember, we were going to go and watch it, and then something happened, and then you went to watch it the week after, then you couldn't make it, and then it just kind of fell by the wayside.
Mm.
And this was another one where I saw the teaser of it, and I thought, okay, I need to catch up. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's a good, nice little B movie. It's written, I think it's Joe Hill. Yeah, Joe Hill. Oh, the sequel is based on characters by Joe Hill. So Joe Hill did the first Black Phone. Joe Hill is Stephen King's son.
Okay.
Obviously, he changed his name because he didn't want to be Joe King, or because they'll work off his father's name. Like both are like valid reasons to go by his mother's name. I think makes sense.
Joe King.
He has done a book with his father. I think there is one by Hill and Stephen King. Yeah, we probably need to get Eddie on because I know he's a big Stephen King reader, and I think he could probably talk through some of his films. I think that'd be a good one for the future for us to do. But yeah, this looks like it's a sequel. It looks like it's probably going to be based off of an original idea, then I'm guessing. Scott Derrickson is returning as the director. I'm pleased about that. Ethan Hawke is obviously back as the grabber. Scott Derrickson's the one who did Sinister. He did the first Doctor Strange, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. He's a good horror director. I really like him. This one is going to be Bad Dreams haunt a 15-year-old Gwen as she receives calls from the Black Phone, sees disturbing visions of 3 boys being stalked at a winter camp. It feels like it's going to be similar to the first one, but probably a little bit more paranormal, I think. I'm excited by it. Day one for me.
Perfect time of year as well.
Absolutely.
Not that you need to watch horror films in October, like we said before.
No, but horror films should be released in autumn. Like that is the right time. Doesn't need to be October, but it kind of needs to be the trees have turned brown and you might get kidnapped in the dark, because that's where horror should be. Like it is the right time for it, I think. The last one that I wanted to mention, now I don't know if this is something you're going to be interested in, Stu, but on the 24th of October is Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere.
I put the trailer in the group, so yes, I am.
You did, right? Okay, I couldn't remember if it was you or Matt. In fairness, who'd done it. Big fan of Jeremy Allen White. I love The Bear. I think it's one of the best shows of the last decade. I think it's tremendous. When they said he was going to be Springsteen, I was a little bit apprehensive because he's not the biggest of guys, and Springsteen's got a bit of presence about him. But seeing, like, I watched 30 seconds of the trailer and I was like, that I don't want to see any more because that's enough for me. He did seem to embody him, and the sound was like, I don't know how much is him and how much is some kind of vocalization. Really impressive, really excited. It's about the period of time where he was recording the Nebraska album, which I think is when Springsteen went from being a big name to being the biggest name. It was the album that tipped him into the next category. I was a huge fan of the Bob Dylan film earlier this year, so this has got some big shoes to fill. I feel like it could do it. And again, Oscar buzz early doors around this one, so I'm very, very excited about this. Springsteen fan, and thoughts on the film?
Yeah, not massive. I wouldn't be able to name his whole discography, but it popped up because of Jeremy Allen White, because the same thing with The Bear. Even though I've still got a whole of season 4 to watch, which will be done next week, hopefully. Yeah, we obviously have very different opinions on Bohemian Rhapsody.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I didn't like Rocket Man that much. Bob Dylan's kind of for me, but that was a good film. Better Man was incredible. Regardless of the monkey stuff, it was a brilliant film. This looks like a very serious thing. It's a very filmy film. The kind of thing that 10 years ago there's no way on earth I'd watch. Coming at this time of year before Christmas, perfect, absolutely perfect.
Mm-hmm. But we're heading into the Oscars corridor at this point, and these are the kind of films that I'm wanting to see. It's directed by Scott Cooper. He did Crazy Heart, which is about a musician. Out of the Furnace, which I think is another one that's set in the musical world. I haven't seen that one, in fairness. He did Antlers, which I thought was a bit hit and miss, in fairness. So I don't know a lot about the guy, but I'm kind of excited to see what he can give us here. But on top of that, Jeremy Strong is in it, who, again, he's excellent. Paul Walterhauser, I like him. I've always been a fan of his work. And of course, Stephen Graham.
Of course.
Like one of our best imports, I think. He's playing Bruce's father in this one. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to give us here. Yeah. Very, very excited for that film. So that is October done. November, 7th of November, Predator Badlands. Dan Trachtenberg is back. He did Prey, which was a film that went down very nicely in this household. I really enjoyed Prey. A little bit iffy with the ending. I felt like it was a little bit too Deus Ex Machina. But everything leading up to that last 5 minutes I thought was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to this. I've avoided all the trailers. I know Elle Fanning's in it, and that's pretty much all I know. And that's probably enough for me. I think it's something to do with the Predator has been banished by his people, which sounds like quite a fascinating idea here. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, because considering we don't really, it's never about the predators. It is always about the people and the other stuff. Taking away the animated film, which is strangely deep for what it is.
Well, I'm going to ask you about that. Killer of Killers, is it? Because I haven't seen it yet. It's been on the list, but it sort of fell off. How was it? Is it going to tie into this film at all? Do you
I don't know, because I know nothing about it. This one, I've got no idea. So Predator, that's enough. Like, it's one of the constants, and that's 30 years. Anything Predator related, AVP, whatever shit they were.
Yeah, is Predator probably the most hit and miss of that particular genre? Like Alien, the low points of Alien were pretty much the ones with Predator and the terrible fucking Covenant Prometheus dog shit. But Predator feels like it swings wildly from pretty damn good to absolute dog shit.
Well, what was it? Predators, the one before Prey.
Is that the one where they were put on an island? It was kind of like Hunger Games, but they were being hunted. Yeah, and it's got what's his face, the Jewish actor from The Pianist. Oh, his name's completely gone. The one who was up for, I think he even won the Oscar this year, didn't he? Oh, fuck's sake, that's going to annoy me.
Brody.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Of course it's Adrian Brody. Yeah. That was Predators.
Yeah.
And that wasn't great. No.
But then Prey wasn't. But Prey was kind of... It kind of suffered because it was prime COVID war. And it would, if that was in cinema, people would love that film.
Yeah.
But because it was buried far away.
Release.
On Disney Plus at that time, 5 years ago, when it was still pretty new. Yeah, it's like a forgotten gem that no one talks about ever.
It feels like Predator is like, it's got the biggest sag, like it's like a tent pole. You've got the first one, which is good, and then they just get gradually worse and worse and worse. And then it comes back up when we get to Prey. So like everything in between the first film and Prey was kind of shit. But it still somehow got this reverence.
Yeah. And I've kind of warmed to Predator 2 over the years. I used to absolutely hate it.
Not a good film.
No, it's not. It's not a good film. Danny Glover though?
Yeah, I get it. That's fair. But yeah, with it being Trachtenberg again, I'm hoping this is going to be more Prey than it is Predators, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next up on the 14th of November, Now You See Me, No You Don't.
This looks great.
the first one was okay. The second one was awful. And I've avoided the trailers on this one because the second one was so bad, I don't know whether I'm gonna see it. But have you seen the trailer for this one, Stu, then?
Yeah, because I didn't know that it was something like a whole thing.
Okay, right.
So I saw the trailer for this. I thought, what the hell is this? What's going on?
Right.
And it looks fun.
Talk me through it then. What looks fun about this? Because, like I said, the second one was such a mess. Like it was proper all over the shop.
Jesse Eisenberg. I mean, it's classed as Now You See Me 3 on IMDb, just looking at it there.
Okay. Which I prefer Now You See Me 3 because the second one was Now You See Me 2. So why bring in the colon No You Don't? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that's just what they've got on Wikipedia and it's wrong.
I had no idea about it. Well, no, it's not wrong because that's what he came up on the end of the trailer.
Oh, okay. Listen.
But I had no idea about these films. I didn't even know they existed.
Really?
No,
I would have thought the first one would be up your alley.
It really is. I've got it on. It's going to be the week before. I'm going to watch all of them.
Right. Okay.
So I looked at it. I thought, okay, this is silly. It's Jesse Eisenberg. I quite like him. And then Woody Harrelson turns up. Done.
Yeah, the Woody Harrelson.
Sold.
Like he's the reason I will probably be watching this, and obviously Isla Fisher because it's Isla Fisher. Dave Franco does put me off because fuck Dave Franco, but Rosamund Pike's in this one as well, which I didn't realize. I like Rosamund Pike. Morgan Freeman's back. I'm assuming Harry Potter's not back for this one, even though he's in the second one.
Didn't think.
It doesn't look like it. Like him being in the second one, I thought was quite interesting. So obviously it's a film about I was going to say tricks, but then I immediately had that joke from Arrested Development where Job says tricks are what whores do, Michael. I do illusions. Like immediately. That's what came to mind. It's a film about illusions and magic, so it makes sense to have Harry Potter in there.
That line is kind of changed and used in the trailer.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like that because that should be Job through and through.
Yeah.
That is genuinely one of my favourite jokes in Arrested Development, and there are a lot. I need to rewatch Arrested Development. I've seen it for a few years. Tremendous show.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun, like silly fun. Exactly the kind, like you said, exactly the kind of things that I'd normally watch.
Yeah,
through choice. But yeah, now I'll have 3 of them in a week.
It's written by Seth Grahame-Smith, who I've read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which was really good fun. He also did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter and Inkblade. I think he did the film of that one as well, if I remember correctly. Oh no, he just wrote the film of that one. That was good. He revised the Fantastic Four, the Fan-4-Stick, the 2015 abortion of a film. He also produced. He's done a fair bit of bits and bobs. He's all right. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what we might get from this one now. Like you kind of talked me around it. Ruben Fleischer is the director. Zombieland, and 30 Minutes or Less. So like he's obviously worked with with Jesse Eisenberg a couple of times and Woody Harrelson. He also did the Venom films, which makes me like him a little bit less. And Uncharted. Oh God, taught myself out of it now. Fuck now. I will probably see, because again, I don't think there's much else out until the following week where we've got 2 films out on the same day. First up is Wicked for Good. We've seen the first one, so we'll be seeing the second one, I assume, Stu.
Yeah, obviously. Looks good as well. Looks fun. Obviously, same thing as last year. No idea what's going on. I've seen Wicked 3 times now, the film.
Have you really? Okay.
Yeah, well, I watched it at the time, then I watched it, the first 8 came on streaming, and then I watched it again start of summer.
I haven't watched it.
I love it.
I've had absolutely no interest in watching it again. I will listen to the soundtrack, not the film soundtrack, fuck that. I will listen to the like the Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth soundtrack, the original, but like, I just no interest in watching the film again. It was fine. It was absolutely fine. I'm still baffled how it got Oscar nominated. If I'm honest, I didn't think it was that good. It was all right. I'm excited to see how you're going to react to. We need to see this one together, Stu. Because I just want to watch you reacting to some of the stuff that I know is coming up in this film. I'm excited to see how you're going to take some of the events that happen.
Well, let's just see the first one. How much money did it make?
Oh, it made a lot because it ran for a long time, and I think it was pretty much full every showing. If it didn't make I'm gonna say if it didn't make $1 billion, I imagine it was fucking $999 million.
Yeah, so estimated $150 million budget, gross worldwide $756 million.
Yeah, I get it because musicals are very divisive, and as you say, it's a part one. I wouldn't be surprised if the first one gets a re-release very close to this one. Anyway, I mean, if they did a midnight screening, show the first one from 10 till 12, and then from 12 till whatever.
Oh yeah, they'll absolutely. Of course, they'll do that. They did that with Smart too. So
yeah. It just makes sense. Like they can print money with it. I fully suspect the merchandise will be absolutely everywhere. It will be sickening. But yeah, I will definitely see it because I like the play. I didn't particularly care for the first film enough to like of the next film that I'm going to mention. That's going to be the one I'm watching first. This will be maybe later that same day or give it a week.
No, we've got to watch Wicked on it first night because imagine the chaos.
Oh, I'm going to be livid because people are going to be taking fucking recordings of the screen and shit, aren't they? What do we think about having another fucking Wicked - for good rather than the second act would make more sense because that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't get that. Like, obviously, it is for good, I guess, but it's a bit of a stupid name.
It's based on one of the songs.
Yeah. I guess
that's the reason of it, but it's because the first one didn't have it, and this isn't a sequel to the first one. This is literally the second half of the story. It would have made more sense to have it Wicked Act 1 and Wicked Act 2. Personally, I think would have made more sense.
Yeah. So that's what we're going with June.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, also on the 21st of November is our boy Glenn in The Running Man.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I've put the trailer on because I thought, I don't know what this film's actually going to be, if it's going to be closely mirroring the original Arnie film. And obviously it's another Stephen King adaptation. I put the trailer on, I got a minute into it, I'm like, I'm spoiling this here. I don't want to know anything else. All I know is he's not a wrongfully convicted prisoner. It's a game show. That's all I know now. Okay, great. Fine.
It's a choice for his family or something like that.
I actually prefer that. I feel like that sort of makes a little bit more sense than the wrongly convicted man. But that's a bit convoluted. Whereas actually this one is people just need to survive. So he's doing the toughest thing. I like that change. I think it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. We don't just have to remake everything exactly the same. They just do something different with it, which is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I think that was the problem with RoboCop, with the Joel Kinnaman one, where it was too close. Like as a film, I liked it as a film, as a sci-fi film. I liked it on its own merit, but it was called RoboCop, and so you had him very briefly looking the same in the same suit, and he's like, okay, you've got Ed 209's looking the same, which is fine, whatever. And they can't change the story of that too much, but it was a completely different film.
Okay,
because it didn't know all the satire stuff was not in there, so it's not RoboCop. It's just a sci-fi film about a guy being put in a machine with a silly hand.
It's like a real waste because, like, the satire, the political message underpinning RoboCop, it is fuck, it's really important to the film.
Yeah, it was.
Is it Paul Verhoeven? I can't remember who directed
No,
it.
no. Oh, the original is, yeah.
I don't know who did the sequel. I've no idea. But like, yeah, Verhoeven, he's someone who does very fantastical things with a very obvious political message underneath. And I really like him for that. So to do away with that feels a bit cheap.
Yeah, there was a lot of like conflict in Iraq and all this kind of stuff. And there was a bit like media involved. There was none that I remember anyway. I've only ever seen it once. But it didn't seem like it had. I mean, there might have been hints at it.
Yeah.
But it was very much about him. Like when they left his, because obviously with there's a scene where show me what's left, which was quite haunting. That was the best part of the film. And they take all the parts away. And when he said a bit, he's got that one hand so he can greet people. So, okay, so you've got a human hand that can then just be destroyed. Oh, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that does seem quite stupid. I'm kind of surprised that they've not. I mean, there's no sequel, but I'm surprised they never tried to reboot it following the 2014 film. I thought it was earlier than that.
Yeah, I mean, they could have made a direct sequel to it, and it would have been okay. Just carry on like that, because in its own way, it was all right. It was just a bit of a bastardization when you're comparing it to what it came from.
Yeah,
which you can't kind of help when it's a film like that.
Yeah, I get you. But yeah, The Running Man. I love the original. I don't know why, but it's it scratches that primal itch. I feel that it's a bit scuzzy. It's quite B movie, but it's fun. It's really camp, but it's great fun.
Yeah, and you got. I mean, that's the thing with the game show house. He's not going to be the same either, is he?
It's Coleman Domingo though. Like that's better.
Yeah, it depends how cam can he possibly get. I mean, we know how cam he can get. But yeah, you have.
It's obviously Edgar Wright as well directing. Big fan of that guy's work, so I'm high on this one. I really am.
Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't just get bombed because of people who love the original.
It's always a worry, isn't it? You can never tell with dipshits on the internet. But obviously, Glenn Powell, like he kind of went a little bit quiet. We had a good run late last year where he was in a lot of things and was building up, and then I don't feel like we've seen a lot of him. There's not in films and stuff. So
he had a Glenn Powell rest. So he's doing too much.
He did, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one then. What I'm not looking forward to, Stu, as we move into December, is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. 5th of December, that one's released. I mean, Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard are both going to be in this film. So I'm possibly going to watch it just for that Scream reunion. But the first one was so fucking bad. Like it was a 15 or an 8. I think it was 15, wasn't it? Not a drop of blood in it. Like, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable for a horror to not give me a little bit of blood and guts.
Yeah.
I need the viscera in my horror.
Like we said at the time, it pales in comparison to the real film. So yeah. It's the time of year where I very rarely do anything other than watch Christmas films, as we all know. So it might be a nice change to just watch this in the afternoon. Because that's what I ain't keep going out of the house at night trying to watch this nonsense. Not a chance. But if it's on at 11 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or whatever, and I ain't doing anything else, then I probably will watch this. Like with the first one, Jafo liked it. And he was a fan of it.
We need to get Jafo back over from his new home in Carolina. Yeah, he did. And from everything I can tell, people who are fans of the series seem to enjoy it. But as someone who doesn't know the series, it's just not a good film. Like, it's unquestionably not a good film. Emma Tammy is the director. She did the first one, so she's returning for this. I don't know any of her other work. Into the Dark, 2 episodes of that. The Wind, Election Day, Lens Across America. What the fuck is that? Yeah, very little there. As I said, Skeet Ulrich is joining Matthew Lillard. Josh Hutcherson's back even. Elizabeth Lyle, I think, yeah, she was the love interest. McKenna Grace, I thought she was good in the Ghostbusters films. There's not a lot of interest in this film for me, I've got to be honest. Yeah. I might just watch Willy's Wonderland again. This one's all on you now, Stu. 19th of December, Avatar, Fire and Ash.
$3 billion.
I agree.
Easy.
I won't see it, but yeah. It's like, yeah.
Us Navir out there, don't speak. I'm probably the most prominent fan of Avatar
so.
in the entire world.
Or anyone else. I don't know anyone else. Like, genuinely, the people who love Avatar films love those films. Mm-hmm. And everyone else is just completely indifferent to them.
I love them almost as much as Lord of the Rings. Genuinely.
Okay.
I don't know why. So I'll get the whole Ferngully thing and all the jokes and all the others. I love them. They are what they are. And now that the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is getting its third-person mode patch as well at Christmas time. Oh, am I going to be in Avatar Paradise? Yes, I am. I can't wait. It was the last 3D Blu-ray that I had as well, because it was one of the few that still gets released on 3D Blu-ray, because that's what it's designed for. And yeah, there might not be the greatest stories in the world. There might be 3-hour technical showcase demos, but they're great. And the money speaks for itself.
Yeah,
these people absolutely love Avatar. They might not speak about it as much as me, but they're out there, and they're out there in their many, many millions.
Like, I genuinely, I don't know what to say about it, because like, I don't dislike the first. I've only seen the first film. I didn't dislike it, but I also saw nothing of it that made me think, oh, I need another 4 or 5 of these. Is it 5 that it's going to?
5 altogether, yeah.
5 altogether, yeah. Like, I don't, yeah. 2029 for 4 and then 2031 for 5. I saw nothing of it that made me think I must see more of this world. It was absolutely fine. As you say, it was a technical marvel, and I feel that was really what made it what it was. So yeah, it's always surprised me at how well it's done, because it's not just done well. They've been untouchable with how much money that they've taken the first 2.
So it's broken down, obviously, because it was filmed 2, The Way of Water and this one were filmed back to back. And parts of 4 to avoid the Stranger Things situation.
Okay, right.
With the kids.
Clever. Mm-hmm.
So they've done all the kids filming, motion capture. So a budget of $350 million. And it made $2.32 billion worldwide.
Insane. I mean, 350 million, if that was just technically on one film, that's got to be the most expensive film of all time, surely. And the fact that it's,
I think it wasn't it?
2.3. I mean, what's Titanic? Because Titanic is still the most
it's second beyond
film.
It's second, adjusted for inflation, it's second beyond Titanic.
I think with Titanic as well, because Titanic gets re-released every couple of 3 years. Like, that just keeps, every time it gets a re-release, it just does fucking gangbusters. It's mental, but people love James Cameron, and like, his films don't do it for me in like, they don't get me in the feels. But as a technical spectacle, he's unquestionably in breathing rarefied air. Like, there aren't many who can touch what he does when it comes to the technical side of creating a film. Like, Titanic isn't I love Kate Winslet in it, And she's in this, which kind of surprised me. She swore she would never work with James Cameron again after all the spending days in a fucking water tank after Titanic.
again.
So I'm kind of surprised that she got roped back into doing this. But yeah, I'm astounded by it all. I really am.
Is she? She's not in the water,
Right. Okay.
is she? So her Navi actually looks. The eyes look very scarily like her as well.
Mm.
It's bizarre.
Well, yeah, because the Zoe Saldana one, like you can tell it's Zoe Saldana underneath it. They've done a good job of making the people look like the people. I thought Sigourney Weaver died in the first film. Spoiler
No,
for
she
a
was
fucking 16-year-old film.
no because she was remember the tree and all that stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There's
I probably haven't seen it since 2010. It's been a long. Maybe I should give it a chance.
Flashbacks and stuff. And The Way of Water. Watching The Way of Water, it's 3 hours 15 minutes long. You need to watch it at home now.
Yeah. Well, this one 3 hours 12.
Yeah.
So I'm not watching that at the cinema.
It didn't even feel like 2 hours. Like, honestly.
Mm.
I obviously didn't chip my phone or anything because I'm an adult.
Not a cunt. Yeah.
But I didn't even have the urge. I think we've been here a long time because it's just all the time. There's no let up in over 3 hours. But it says there because of it, estimated budget of the second one between 350 and 460 because of them being broken together. They're saying that the third one, the budget's only 250 because it's obviously filmed together.
Mm.
So they're going to make it. It's going to make a lot of money anyway, regardless.
Yeah. I do wonder because we haven't had a film this year that's really dominated in quite the same way over the last couple of years. We've generally had one or potentially two films that have been huge. I don't know if the box office is contracting, so I'm interested to see how much this is going to earn. Because I should say 2.3. Did you say the last one earned?
Yeah, and that was 3 years ago.
I wonder how much the box office has changed. I wonder if it'll get 1.5. I fully think it'll get over 1 billion. I wonder if it'll be anywhere near what? Because like the jump between 1 billion and 2 billion is huge. So I'm quite excited to see how it's going to go down in the box office.
Well, this is out of curiosity. Avatar Fire and Ash trailer. 1 month ago, 23 million views. The trailer.
Interesting.
And that's on their official one. Obviously, it's on different ones as well. Carries. 20th Century Studios India, 30 million views on that one. IMAX Canada and all this. Yeah, so you're probably talking like 100 million views on YouTube for the various versions of the trailer alone.
Interesting. So currently, for 2025, Ninja 2 is the highest box office with 2.228 billion.
That's a Chinese animated thing.
It is, yeah. It had like a better week in the UK cinemas, if that. It didn't really make much of a scratch over here. Avatar is going to be the highest grossing English-speaking film, without a question of a doubt. I wonder if it's going to break that 2.2. That's the over-under, I think, for the year. It's going to come down to a shootout between Ninja and Avatar 3.
We're worlds.
I'm genuine. I'm like, even though I'm not interested in the film, I'm interested in the mechanics of it. I want to know how this is going to play out. Because I massively underestimated the Navi in last time when we spoke. I didn't think it would be. I thought maybe 1 billion. I didn't think it would be anywhere near as successful as it was. And it went on for ages because that was a Christmas release. And I'm sure it was still on in like fucking February.
Yeah, and the rest. Because it was there. It was there when the Easter eggs were in the shops.
Mm.
Because that was one of the things. Oh yeah, he's died and risen in the time that Avatar's been out.
Yeah, crazy. But thinking about it though, looking at this Ninja 2, isn't it mad that hasn't really, like, I know very few people who've even mentioned that film.
I only knew about it when I mentioned it the other day because it was on. Commode was on about it.
Mhm.
When he was reviewing the quite excellent, what we'll talk about next week, K-pop Demon Hunters. And I don't know, because he said it to I think he was Sanjeev who was with him on that one.
Yeah.
I was like, do you know what's the biggest grossing film of the year? And he said, I had no idea.
Mm.
No clue. But it looks really good. It looks class, but it's Chinese. People don't trust China, do they? For reasons. China. But so you're automatically taking America out of play. You're taking here out of play mostly. So it is just China being huge. That's where this was made its money. Which is insane.
I think we'll, like you say, we'll get onto this when we talk about your K-pop nonsense. The West is starting to embrace that style massively now. And I kind of wonder if Ninja 2 was released in 12 months' time, when we've had a few more of these K-pop films, K-pop Demon Hunters, a few more of these films have got, and we're rumbling on. I wonder if that would have ended up being 3 billion, 4 billion. If it had got like a proper audience in the UK. That'd be interesting.
I think if it was Korean or Japanese, I think it would have done. I think because it's Chinese, I think there is still a bit of
apprehension.
Yeah. I was going to say, apprehension's probably the word. Just because what other Chinese stuff we ever had, really?
Good point, actually, because China have, well, I mean, this is for a political podcast, but they've always had this isolationist approach to the world, where they haven't really pushed their borders out in terms of what culture or pop culture that they put out there. Whereas obviously Japan, Korea, they're massive in this country, and States and everywhere, like weeboos or whatever they're called, they're a thing. People love that type of pop culture stuff. Whereas China, they really haven't, have they? Not in the same terms.
I mean, you're starting to see it in games with like Monkey Go East and stuff like that. Not its name.
What's it called again? Wukong?
Yeah, Wukong.
Something. Yeah. I prefer Monkey Go East. I think that's a better name.
Wukong Kill Yourself game.
It looks gotta be fair.
There's fucking another one of them now. It was announced at Black Myth Wukong. There's another one. There's another one announced at Outly Night Live last week at Gamescom. Mental. But again, this is all the China Hero Project with Sony reaching out to China as a little bastion of the world that's not been conquered yet in terms of pop culture stuff. And obviously, this is another one. And it's only that it's getting there. So how much is out of curiosity, how much has Wukong made? Black Myth. I mean, if it wasn't one of them games, I probably would have played it because it looks amazing.
It does. And to be fair, it looks more like God of War than it does the other one that Matt likes, the Elden Rings. Like, it looks more like God of War than Elden Rings to me, that does.
So, okay. So, the game sold 10 million copies in its first 3 days.
Fucking hell.
25 million copies sold worldwide within a few months.
And that's only on one machine at the minute. Or at the point, it was only on one machine for a few months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
10 exclusivity for a fair bit.
Yeah, so that was 7 months ago. It's topped 850 million gross revenue on Steam alone.
Bonkers. We'll talk about it next week because we'll be doing our summer review. But I've just had a quick look at the highest grossing films of 2025 so far. And as I said, Ninja 2, 2.2. Lilo and Stitch is in second place with just over 1 billion. So this Ninja has more than doubled second place. And second place is a Disney property that is that's got like an obsessive fan base. People love Lilo and Stitch, and Nijar has just fucking blown it out the water.
When I was in Florida, obviously, it's gonna be, but it was absolutely everywhere. Lilo and Stitch. And then
I'm not surprised.
milking it like a feral cow over there. Yeah, this can do double.
Crazy. There's a film called Detective Chinatown 1900 in 9th place. It's another Chinese film, just over 500 million. I mean, that probably won't be there when we look at it on the 1st of January 2026. But just the fact that 2 Chinese films have broken the top 10 as we're now 3/4 of the way through the year is bonkers. Because, like you said, that market is very separate to the rest of the world. So that's incredible.
What did Mission Impossible do then?
Mission Impossible's in 8th, and that got 598 million.
See, that seems low.
Which is a disgustingly low amount.
Yeah.
Because that, well, again, we'll talk about it next week, but I fucking love Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I didn't expect it because I didn't like the one before, but I thought it was a great film. So yeah, to get under 600 mil for that feels quite low. We'll talk about all of that next week. Like I say, that'll be our summer preview. That's everything for the room. Well, it's not everything. There's obviously other stuff. Spinal Tap 2 is going to be out, I think, October. That one's coming out. I'm looking forward to that. Stu, was there anything else that?
No, I had a look, and there's like there's things that just appear out of nowhere. Then the like, are we counting that one with Olivia Colman? Well, it's out now, I guess.
The Roses.
The Roses, yeah.
I think it was out yesterday, I think. I haven't seen it. Are you going to be watching that? It feels like the kind of thing you'd enjoy. I'm a bit indifferent towards it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer made it look fun. But again, it's an afternoon thing, and obviously with kids being off school with 6 weeks holiday, I had a chance. I mean, I looked at it yesterday when I booked up to finally go and see it's not Monsters, is it? Weapons.
Oh, finally. Oh, Weapons. I love that film.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Weapons next week. And I look and I thought, yeah, I ain't been for 3 weeks.
Crazy. I had physio this Friday. I was away the Friday before and I had physio the Friday before. I haven't been for 3 weeks, I don't think. Oh, I've done a couple in the week. I went to see Interstellar. But I haven't done it. Friday is my normal day, but I just haven't had a free Friday. But I'm off this next week. So tomorrow, which is yesterday when this podcast goes out, I'm going to see Nobody 2, and then I'm going to see Honey Don't, which is the Joel Cohen film with Margaret Qualley in. Looking forward to that. I'm going to see the Darren Aronofsky film with Austin Butler, Caught Stealing. I'm going to see on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I'm going to see Jaws. I'm going to the 4DX screening of Jaws. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I thought that might be fun. And there's nobody else booked into it yet, so fingers crossed. So this week I'm making up for missing the last couple.
Yeah, so I'm going to get that. I'm going to watch Together as well. And watch that. Yeah.
That was fun. That was, yeah. I enjoyed that in spite of my hatred of Dave Franco. I did enjoy that.
Yeah, the Roses looked interesting, but I ain't doing more than 2 a week. Other things to do.
I think it's literally because I just haven't had the last few Fridays, and for some reason, Nobody 2 was always on at like 6 o'clock or 5:30, which is just the wrong time. I don't want to be driving during rush hour, and like I feed my dog at 6 o'clock. It's the wrong time for me if it's that point. So they've now put it on at a better time for me, so I can get that in now.
There's a lot of 11 o'clock in the morning showings again.
They'll all end at the end of this week because the kids go back, and then everything will be like fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, this was for next week.
This was when do the kids go back, Stu?
It's scattered throughout the week depending on schools.
Oh, okay, right, fair.
But this is for things like Weapons. There's one at 11 in the morning.
It feels quite early for a 15, 18 film.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
I'm
it's
looking forward to seeing your review of that. Maybe. Right, anyway, A Score to Settle up next, Nick Cage. Welcome back to the final part of the podcast. Nick Cage, 2019, A Score to Settle. I genuinely cannot believe it was 2019. It is far too recent when this film looks like... If you'd have told me it was filmed in 99 or 2006 or 2011, I'd probably believe you, because timeless isn't the right word, because it's not timeless, but it does not feel that like in the grand scheme of Cage works, this is too close to his good stuff for me.
It feels like it could have been made using them little tiny cassettes and the old Steadicams that we use at uni to make our little documentaries and stuff. Yeah, it could be any time and place in the last 15 years, just as a pure setting itself. So that's, from that point of view, it kind of is timeless. It was something though.
Yeah. So
I don't know
Nick Cage,
where you even start, because it's okay.
Right, so Nick Cage plays Frank Carver, a former mob enforcer. He's released from prison after serving 19 years for a crime he did not commit. He took the fall in exchange for $450,000 and the promise that his son Joey would be cared for. Upon release, Frank is diagnosed with a fatal insomnia condition. He must sleep or risk death. Reunited with Joey, Frank goes to make up for lost time, spending lavishly and reconnecting emotionally. His real mission, though, is revenge, tracking down the men who betrayed him. As Frank spirals into violence and hallucinations, the film reveals a major twist, raising questions about Frank's mental state and the reliability of his perspective.
Yeah. I didn't know that you could death by insomnia was a thing.
No. And the fact that he could survive if he just had a kip seems quite silly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like he's forcing himself to die. Silly box.
Remember that Channel 4 experiment about keeping people awake for ages and ages?
Yes.
And nothing's
Really? Yeah, the thing is that it is quite dangerous if you stay awake. Like, there's a tipping point.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, like, once you've hit a week, I think it is, it does become very dangerous. But most people don't get anywhere near that point.
I mean, I did 36 hours from Florida coming back. So I went through the whole next day as well. And that was just an unfortunate thing to happen to me. And it took me 2 weeks to recover. And that was then. I mean, this was Tuesday was worse when I went to. I was all looking forward. No, it was Wednesday, wasn't it? When the comedy of Grimsby Man United happened. And
yes,
I don't know what was going on. Just felt a bit run down. I thought, well, let's go and have a little cat nap and then I'll get up and watch the match, just for comedy potential. So it's about 6:30, and then woke up at 4:45 the next morning. The full system reset. And I woke up before my alarm and was very, very confused what was going on. And then read the group chat as live. So I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know the score. So I found out the scores through that. But that was, again, the opposite of being awake for that long. And yet I felt so tired. So I could only imagine what more than 3 days would do to you. And it would drive you completely insane.
Yeah, it would. Hallucinations and everything. But apparently, like I've read studies on sleep and stuff, because why not? If you stay awake for like 3-4 days, when you sleep, you will then sleep for 3 or 4 days worth of sleep. It's like you do, your body forces you to catch up on what you've missed. It's actually quite fascinating, sleep science. It's weird. Like, there's some good podcasts on it.
Enough to send you to sleep, I guess.
More interested in this fucking film anyway. But
I mean, it does make sense though, because it's like for every 3 weeks or so. Like getting up at 5 in the morning, 5 days a week is not a sensible thing for normal people to do.
no.
And yet, and then you add in the fact of going to bed about 11, half 11, 12 every day. So you're only having like 5 hours sleep a night. Eventually, after 2 or 3 weeks, it gets to you, I have to have a system reset kind of situation. Not as extreme as that, but going to bed about 9 o'clock and sleeping straight through.
Yeah.
That has to happen every 2 or 3 weeks-ish. So
Just to even yourself out.
yeah, the whole catching up on sleep thing, it is more than just a phrase. The fact that that's never really mentioned again, other than possibly the craziest Cage face since Vampire's Kiss, maybe at the end.
The beef face that he pulls.
Yeah.
Because I've got beef written down in my notes. He kept shouting beef, and I'm like, what are you doing, Nick? It was just beef. Beef! Like, what are you doing? It was so fucking bizarre. When he shoots the dragon in the dick, though, like, that's the highlight of the film is, they're not going to call you the dragon anymore. Bang! Shoots him in the cock. I laughed at that.
But again, the second RoboCop reference of this film.
The second?
Yeah, do you remember when he walks into the massage parlor and it says "bitches leave"?
Is that? I don't remember that from.
It's from RoboCop.
Yeah.
When Clarence goes into when he's got the whole thing where he's got all the women around him. And he saw the whole Dick Jones made a mistake, and he'll erase that mistake later on. And when you got Clarence all beaten up, and he looks at him and he says, "Look what he does to my face." And as he walks in, he went, "Bitches leave," and they all scatter, and he's got them hookers around him.
Okay, yeah.
And then he blows the house up.
I completely forgot that.
Yeah, that was because I thought, is he gonna say "bitches leave"? And then he said,
What a random fucking thing to have referenced twice, no less.
"Yeah," in a film that's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, not even close. Like, it's not even the same director or writer or anything.
It's random.
That is truly bizarre.
It's RoboCop.
Very strange. Good. I liked the twist. It was
Well, okay. Spoilers for people who've sad enough to watch
yeah.
for yourself.
Just fast forward for like 30 for a minute, say. So yeah, his son actually being dead.
Yeah.
I quite like that. I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming.
Finally,
What is it? Yeah,
finally.
it knocked me. I was like, he's dead. I mean, it wasn't that exciting, but I liked it nonetheless.
When did he get you?
Oh, like literally when he was talking to the fucking grave.
I thought it was weird with the phone stuff in the apartment when he's got that bellboy and he's sitting there making him write things down.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, strange, because we saw that he called him, and then you think back that the clues were there. It was hiding in plain sight. But yeah, it wasn't until the grave, and I thought, oh, I've just been stupid again. I don't know. I know we all know that I don't get these things anyway. But then when you look at him, I thought, hang on a minute. Oh, no way. And then you obviously have the montage, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Actually, really well done.
Yeah, though it was pretty well done. Like, it was better than this film deserved, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
It was
Kara.
It's the best part of the film.
Yeah, hands down. Like, I like the fact that it was an exploration of guilt and regret and unresolved emotional trauma and how it all tied into the twist.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very clever. But everything outside of that was so weird. Like, there was just so many handbrake turns between quite sweet and emotional Frank bonding with his son and falling in love with the woman whose name I forgot. to then quite brutal revenge murders. Like, I know it's supposed to show the duality of Frank,
Yeah.
but it was too much. It was too disparate. Like, the murders were too heavy when the family and love and sex stuff was quite light touch and almost mawkish. It was too much for Handbrake Turn. Those jumping from one scene to the next, I didn't like that. The balance of this was way off. And like I'd said to you earlier, I thought it was very uneven throughout this film, and that was why.
Yeah, because you had the scene where where he drops her off in his car, and he gets it all wrong. He does. Yeah, I'm paying you. I'm just sleeping with you because you're paying me, kind of thing. And he cocks it up. And you think, oh, okay, that's kind of sad and sweet at the same time. That she's like, yeah, he thinks it's more than it is. And then when the other one comes in, and she's like, yeah, I am, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, you're not her. Where is she? And then he starts on his downfall. But yeah, okay, great, fine. But you do have the whole thing with the just going and digging up his old house garden, and no one spots him. So the tree house on the ground that's got a baseball card in that hasn't been found for 19 years.
Yeah, even though he's not, like, someone else is fucking living there. How would they not have, like, fucking mowed over that? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a bit far-fetched in this film anyway, but yeah, there's just too many weird little things in it. There's a nice idea there. It's not bad. Well, it's not bad. And there's some all right performances, I guess. But there's no one that stands out as terrible in this. You know, pay the ghost levels.
Look, I mean, we've said before, we've seen a few films recently where they've clearly just grabbed people off the street and thought, you look all right, you can act in this. There's none of that here. Everyone is moderate. I think Cage stops this from being an outright bad film. Yeah, because I feel like he cares about this role, and you know why? Because we've spoke about this before with Cage, that he likes to get a script like Season of the Witch where he'll read, oh, my eye explodes, I'll do the rest of it. I don't need to know anything else. I just want that one scene. And I feel like we get the twist in this film, and Cage saw that and thought, okay, I'll do this film just for that.
Yeah. Probably. But it's a missed opportunity. I mean, the whole thing about we spoiled it. The twist bit being what it was, it just makes it even more sad when it wasn't that. It was something else to start with. And it kind of switches it, and you think, this is actually really, really depressing.
It's quite, isn't it? Yeah. It's such a generic mobster, gangster, revenge flick, though, isn't it? I think the issue that you sort of put the twist to one side. You know where this film's going because it's a story of redemption of man on a revenge mission, and then he obviously finds out that hurt people, that the revenge is only hurting himself.
Yeah, and and the lies as well, and him being cabbaged in the bed, and the whole thing with the bat, and yeah, it's not original in any sense of the word. But yeah, it's a thing. It's one to tick off the list.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen some shit lately. We've seen some real bad shit lately.
Yeah, this was better than that.
Between Worlds, or whatever it was called, stuff like that, that's almost unwatchable. And this wasn't almost unwatchable. It was forgettable, but I'll take that over some of the outright shite we've watched.
Yeah, when this gets brought up in 6 months' time and you say the name.
Yeah, I will need you to explain to me what this film is about the next time it gets mentioned.
Yeah,
Almost certainly.
yeah, and it it's almost lost for words with it because it's not terrible, it's not great, it's all right, it's got a great idea, it's not that badly executed, but it's so forgettable that it doesn't really matter at the end of the
Mhm.
day.
That's exactly it, yeah. Did you enjoy the film? It was better than I expected, but I don't think I'd say it was a good film nonetheless. Like, it's watchable, and as I say, I enjoyed the twist. It was probably the right length of time, little over 90 minutes. I think it was pushing the length it needed to be. You could have got
Yeah,
away with 80 minutes in fairness. If it was any longer, it would have been a fucking disaster, I think. But watchable, nothing else.
yeah. He got in and out in I wasn't it's never the whole was you bored? No, I was never bored with this. However much it might seem that we were. I know I've talked about it, but no, I was never bored. It had its moments, and it was all right. It just wasn't good.
No, exactly the same as me, mate. Was Cage good or bad?
Um, I don't know. I don't. I honestly don't because it was so that the beef thing was so over the top. And you're the even the sequence. I mean, that's probably not in all the effects and the weirdness of when he was tripping out for being
Mhm.
overtired, which then just was ignored within seconds, and he's back to normal again.
Yeah, immediately.
It was like he was having a diabetic episode, and he put some insulin in himself, and he was all right again. That
Mm.
was a bit strange. Um, on the scale, probably no. That's, it feels harsh because I don't think he did that much wrong, but
Mm.
it was just way too much. It's way too crazy Cage at the end for me.
That's fair. I've gone with I've gone with probably good because I think that the 90% where we had the subdued Cage, I thought really elevated the film. The final 10%, like you say, that ending was so far over the top. It was ridiculous. But I think that I do feel like this was a labour of love for Cage. He obviously saw something in this script that he liked enough to give it something, and I do feel that he gave it more than it probably deserved. And without him, this would have just been carnage. This
Mm,
would have been the Roman Empire that we saw. Like, it just would have been bland nonsense. But Cage elevated it to a different level. I mean, it's still not great, but I've given him the benefit of the doubt here, I think.
yeah.
Mm. If you liked A Score to Settle, you may also like.
There was ones on here that I was going to say, and I thought, no, by saying that, it completely ruins the film.
Yeah,
Um,
same. I've avoided ones with a twist and just gone with. I've gone with John Wick because it's basically that, or The
but yeah,
Equalizer because it's basically that, or Taken because it's basically that as well.
I had Django Unchained.
Yeah, I get it. Any film about revenge that you've ever seen, it's basically that. That's the whole premise of this film. It's centered around that. The twist stuff, like, you are right. There's a couple of very obvious choices that would spoil it, so I've kind of avoided those. But yeah, I think of the three that I've got written down, I quite fancy watching The Equalizer again because I haven't seen that one for a long time. Or Man on Fire, because Denzel went through a period of time where he liked a revenge story, didn't he?
I don't think I've seen The Equalizer.
Have you not?
I don't think so.
I used to like the TV show way back, although I was
Yeah.
really too young to watch it.
Yeah, I've not the new TV show either.
I haven't seen the new one. But I remember it was Edward Woodward, wasn't it, the original?
Yeah,
God, I feel fucking old. I feel like that was late night in the late 80s.
it's probably older than that, you know.
It probably is. I bet it was on in the 70s and it was just reruns or something.
The Equalizer's full of.
I remember watching it with my nan. And I'm almost certainly should have been in bed at that point, but
Oh no, it wasn't about. It was 85 to 89.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, so the Queen Latifah one. 2021. I thought it was before then.
No, it's fairly recent. I think it got cancelled within, was it 1 season, 2 seasons? I don't
Still
think
on?
it lasted. Oh, is it? I thought it got cancelled.
20
I didn't watch it, in fairness. I'm not a massive Queen Latifah fan.
No, I gave it one episode. I thought no, just not happening. Yeah, no,
Didn't seem a necessary thing to update. Because if it's very 80s, so it would be a completely different series if you set it now. It wouldn't be The Equalizer, so call it something else. Why just reboot it? It just makes no sense.
yeah, it's like the MacGyver reboot didn't work.
Wasn't that? Oh no, I'm gone. Kathy Bates did a reboot of an 80s show. I was thinking it was MacGyver, but it's not MacGyver, it's something else.
Magnum.
Could have been.
Because
I can't remember.
Because MacGyver and Magnum were in the same world as Hawaii Five-0, which was actually good.
Yes, I remember you talking about that before. I know you're a big fan of that one.
Yeah, I love that show. But they did crossover episodes with each other as well.
Matlock. That's what Kathy Bates is doing now. She's doing Matlock.
Oh yeah, I see them on there. Birds of that on NFL.
I like Kathy Bates, to be fair. Jason Ritter's in it as well, so it should be all right. But it's just another thing. Why does it need an update? Just do something original. Oh well. Never mind. All right. Okay. That's us done this week. Next week we're going to be watching a film called Gunslingers. It's one of his most recent ones. I think it was actually released this year, Stu. So I struggled with it. I really struggled with it. It's yeah, it really did stink. It's not a good movie at all. And according to IMDb, like, it's his most recent release, so we'll see. In A Town Named Redemption, immediately I hate this film. Just if I'd have known that before, that would have put me off. In A Town Named Redemption, reformed gunslinger Keller and mad genius Ben are guided by spiritual leader Jericho towards vindication. While confronting their violent histories, their new friend Peace is challenged by violence and revenge. Like, everything about that redemption, so a character's called Jericho, like, it's all just so on the nose, and having seen it,
it sounds like Red Dead.
It does, to be fair.
Which I started playing it for the first time ever. I completely missed it on PS3. Never played it. I mean, obviously Mark had it on 360, but never played it on PS3. Then I had it on PS4 when it was ported a few years ago, and I never even put the disc in the machine in PS4 or PS5. So I thought, okay, it's the perfect kind of Rockstar tick boxy game. Go and wander around, perfect for Steam Deck. So I sat there on Friday night, 2 hours sitting there in the dark, basically. Yeah, I knew I'd missed out on it anyway, but I thought, yeah, okay. And for a game that old,
both, yeah, I've never got around to playing them either, but I've got them both. But yeah, strange.
Yeah, for a game that old, I thought, okay, well, it's perfect for Steam Deck, and it is. It looks great.
On the bright side of this film, Heather Graham's in it, and
yeah,
no, she is timeless. Like, she, between fucking Austin Powers and 2025, she just doesn't seem to have aged at all. Incredible. I do like Heather Graham. And Stephen Dorff, who was good in The Righteous Gemstones. Yeah, Blighty. The Righteous Gemstones, which I'm assuming you still haven't got around to watching.
No.
It ended this year. And it got an ending. It ended on its own terms. You will like it, I promise you. It's very good.
Was he in Blade? Was he in the first one?
He
was in the first one. It was Deacon Frost.
Yes, that's it. It was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen 1 or 2 for so long. I've probably seen 3 fairly recently.
What?
Or I don't know. I feel like it was probably on ITV2 or something.
Ryan
But
Reynolds
yeah,
has seen that as well.
definitely seen it within the last, like, 5 years. And it's, your man from Prison Break, Lincoln from Prison Break, whose name I can't fucking remember. The big dude.
Yeah. I hated Blade Trinity.
Oh, I remember wanting to see it because Triple H was in it. And, like, I fucking hate Triple H, so I have no idea why I wanted to watch it for. It's probably just because it was a wrestler in a film. But, yeah, it's not a good film, and it's Ryan Reynolds doing fucking Deadpool bullshit even back then. Like, he's just all he's got. All he's fucking got. Awful. Yeah, they're not good films. The first one, I bet the first one probably holds up better than any of the others thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, to an extent, I guess the effects are going to be really bad now.
I imagine the story holds up. You are
Yeah.
right. Like, the effects are probably going to look a bit shonky. Interesting stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, like I say, Gunslingers is going to be our film next week. Hopefully, Ash will be joining us to be looking at the summer that we've just had. So we'll be reviewing late May to the end of August, I think. See what we enjoyed, what we didn't, and what we still need to catch up on. Anything on your view list this week to try and catch up on, Stu?
Other than the ones that I've mentioned already, cinema wise, what have I got on here? I've got The Bear, as I mentioned as well. I'm going to try and get that done. Alien Earth as well. I haven't even started that yet.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be good. There's the new Bob Waxberg. You never got around to watching BoJack, did you?
Roger Horseman, yeah, I watched a few. It didn't really grab me, but it was a long time ago.
Bob Waxberg's got a new show out called Long Story Short. 10 episodes of that is out. It's supposed to be very good. So that is my watch list this week. It's not a fat lot else other than, like I say, the films that I mentioned earlier. There's a new Red Sonja film, which it's either going to be the worst thing you've ever seen or kind of camp fun, and I'm not sure which one. So I kind of want to give that a watch. Rona Mitra's in it, which is like proper flashback to the 90s, and Martin Ford, who you may not know the name, but when you see his face, he's the dude who's got like the sideburn tattoo, bald head, big fucker.
Yeah.
And he's like, every time you need a henchman, Martin Ford is the guy who comes in and does the job. So I'm kind of intrigued by that. So I might try and see if I can squeeze in Red Sonja as well, just for shits and giggles.
I mean, we have got this Quarterback that I haven't watched yet on Netflix before season starts next week.
Is that a documentary series?
Yeah, season 2. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't think I know of that one. Oh,
Yeah,
and Peacemaker as well, Stu. Are you caught up?
No,
that yet?
Peacemaker's on the list because of said 6 weeks holiday and annoyances. Once he's back, everything will be. I'm just going to blitz everything and get back up to speed again. It happens every year, but yeah, and gallivanting all over the world kind of didn't help either. So these things have
That's true.
all caught up on top of each other. But yeah, obviously Peacemakers. I did see how they just retrofitted in the end, just so that it's all okay, fine, whatever, done.
It's very clever. It was the perfect way to do it as well.
Yeah, I saw that people were talking about that and how good it was. But other than that, yeah, I'll catch up on Peacemaker, Alien Earth. Still got to finish the Dexter Resurrection, and then
Dexter cancelled after one season.
Well, we'll considering the reviews of it and how it's on 9.7s and stuff like this. It didn't need to come back anyway. It was fine as it was. So
A weird choice, to be fair, doesn't it?
yeah, because he was saying himself that he'd come back because there was one bit that he left unsaid, which I kind of guess what that is going to be. It was about halfway through it. I would guess if that has been said, then there's no point carrying on anyway.
Right. Okay. There.
But yeah,
Oh, he dropped his laptop. Oh, he's gone offline. At least it's the end of the episode. Oh, is he back? Are you there, Stu?
yeah, the camera just destroyed itself.
Oh, the camera's gone.
Yeah, the camera's gone. I'm still here though. There's a bit of noise in voice only. Still recording.
Yeah. We'll say goodbye now anyway. Make sure you got us on your podcatcher. And if you could leave us a 5-star review, that would be excellent. cagefightingpod@gmail.com for any emails, and it's at cagefightingpod on all of the socials. It's goodbye from me. Be excellent to each other. Stu, are you there to say goodbye, or have you gone again?
Be excellent to each other. You peeking too early, yeah. What he said.
He did like fucking error messages and stuff. Like it proper gone tits up on Zencaster. But yeah, see you next week.
Yeah.
Crap.